and executing in one run and that sort of thing, where it's like, okay, I can't keep, you know, jumping around on this platform over and over again. I've got to like really decide on one way or another what my quote unquote route is. So I can't be like, oh, I want to go down, or, you know, that sort of thing. Makes you be, the word I think I'm looking for there is decisive. It makes you be more decisive about your movement. And I missed that, the gem there. There is a very slight but noticeable delay going on. Which, yeah, I played through this entire game in handheld mode on the Nintendo Switch. And now I am playing it not only through a controller, but I'm also playing it on a computer screen that is synchronized to my recorder. So there is a noticeable delay, but that's just how it is sometimes. So yeah, you can kind of start to see, especially in the realm of thinking about being fair to the player's intentions rather than punishing them for not meeting what you intend them to do, or I guess maybe I'm saying you in general as like a designer. The designer intends them to do. Also, great little map design moment here. I'll kind of point this out. So we have this key, or we have this lock here. And when we go up into this room, immediately we see the key over there. And if we were to try over and get it, we can see we can't go through that platform. So we know that our goal now is to go around. And in addition to that, you see the key is bright yellow on top of a blue background. So it sticks out a lot more. It's a lot more immediately obvious. And then above that, you know, we start to look around the room a little bit more. We see a strawberry for like an extra challenge of sorts. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to my other save file here so we can get a little bit more footage of some of the later levels as well. All right, so I'm loading up here into my favorite level. Oh, and I was checking out some of the design changes in the double air dash mode here. Also, assist mode is great just for picking apart the design of things. Like let me turn the game speed down to 50, and I can show you a little bit better the coyote time here. So we're in 50% mode here, and if I jump off the edge, oh, and actually I can also show you the landing a little bit more. So obviously you can see, actually, great example here in the later levels is that the visual design is a little bit more aesthetically oriented rather than readability oriented. Because by this point in the game, you understand the design language of the game. Whereas the very first levels, it was very contrasty, very light and dark. But by now you've been able to identify, you know, the types of shapes that everything kind of takes on. Anyways, so you can see I jumped off of the air there, which in like traditional physics-oriented platforming mindset, that doesn't really make sense, right? How can you jump off the air? But at full speed, it feels so much better to jump off the air than to get denied. And then here as well, I don't know if you can hear my jumping, but it is happening slightly before I hit the ground. So yeah, let me turn the game speed back up. And keep playing through here while we kind of talk about some of the stuff here. So this level has a lot of insights into some of the more interesting design sorts of things. As in, sorry, I was focusing there for a second. It has more of an emphasis on the like secrets in this level. So there's kind of a insinuation of these weird kind of stuff going on with the mountain. I have not done this guy in a little while here. So let me I'm trying to jump over him to get on top of him. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. So yeah, again, you can see on this level, there's quite a bit more in regards to the visual busyness. Like it's not necessarily as immediately visually readable. But that is all in service of the story at this point. Which admittedly Celeste is very focused on, which is cool. So get this guy and then oops. I can do it here. Oh, whoops. He goes all the way up. That's right. There's no place to stop him. There we go. Oh, Kevin. Let's go. There we go. All right. Get around here. Whoops. I would love to show off some of the B-sides as well, but I'm not good at the B-sides on this setup. I guarantee. I tried it a little bit earlier, and yeah, it was just not. It was not working. Oh, whoops. But yeah, let me go ahead and go back to the map here. Perhaps we will we'll take a look at some of these some of the later stuff here. A great one for design. Let's go ahead and go to the summit. I think that's a good one. Go ahead and go to this one. This one's got the windy element in it. So yeah, you can see here, right? We've jumped ahead a little bit, and we've got the double air dash. And so at this point, you've mastered the mechanics of the single dash, and so this section of the game is all about kind of a gauntlet of sorts of all of the things you've learned throughout the game, throughout your climb. Oh man, this delay is killing me. It's so slight, but it's so noticeable. I should have derusted with this instead. Let me see if I can do this. Lower dash here. I think there's a secret over here. I might be mistaken. I might be thinking of a different level as well. But yeah, it's about those, those secrets and... Oh, whoops. I was holding down instead of diagonally. I'm also, yeah, with controller, I'm not doing the D-pad as well here. There we go. Either way, yeah. There's all these cool little secrets, but yeah, let me try and kind of show you a little bit more here. So you can see underneath me here, it was a little bit more clear in that other level. But if I go back to the map, whoops, go back to the map, and I exit out of this one, and we just go back to the first one here. I can kind of show you that the readability is there's like a lot more contrast, so the readability is a lot clearer, and it's maybe a lot more familiar as well to classic platformer fans in that same way. Another thing that it has is there's a little bit of a when you jump up against corners. Let me see if I can get it here. I think it's when I'm hitting diagonally. Either way, when you hit up against corners, I can show it off in the later room here really well. When you hit up against corners, it's it lets you kind of sneak past up and over it almost. And then there's the air dash as well, or the wall dash. Yeah, so here. So if I jump here, let me get this one again here. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to showcase it very well, actually. Essentially, when you're up against a corner and you're trying to get up onto a platform, yeah, there we go. I bumped into the corner just barely, but it didn't, even though I lost all of my sideways momentum that I normally would have had, it still let me up and over the block. Because it knows, like, I was pushing up against the block before, I probably want to get on top of the block. So it kind of just continues my jumping momentum there. But yeah, there's a lot of air control is like a big thing in Celeste. Let me go back to the map as well, and we'll get some more footage in a different map here. Let's do, this one is mirror. This one's gonna mess with the movement a lot. There's not a lot of open spaces in this one though. Let's do this one. Yeah, I'll go just jump in the middle of this. So yeah, what else do we have here? Obviously like puzzle design, right? And finding like satisfying movement mechanics to explore. The B sides of this level, or farewell is the kind of post game not DLC, but free update. Adds a lot of new mechanics, a lot of new things that they've explored. Another thing that, you know, could theoretically be looked at is here's a great one. The Kevins before, those like massive things that were moving really fast when you launch into them, they would crush you under their weight. But you see here, I'm like close to the edge, but it doesn't fully crush me. It kind of pushes me towards that center. Again, about player intention, right? You know, finding that really good balance of like, hey, where is the player standing where they probably thought they were lined up, but they weren't actually lined up. Let's just push them in a little bit. Because yeah, the player thought they were lined up, but maybe weren't. And if the player intended to be lined up, you know, respecting that is a good way to avoid players getting frustrated. And so you can have this like, you know, really kind of difficult movement system, but without or, you know, there's this difficult like map design but without it being like particularly hard. So the other thing that this game has that I'm gonna try and see if I can showcase here is it actually has this you can kind of bounce off the corner. I can probably do it better without spikes in the way, but you can actually like bounce off the corner of these edges here, and it just kind of adds a little bit more advanced movement options. Whoops. Yeah, I'm gonna skip ahead in this level, so I'm gonna return to the map and show off a little bit more in the later parts of the level here. Yeah, we'll do this one. So we've got this wind that goes really fast, and then you can kind of see those the flags in the background. And so the conceit of this one is like, basically, that you want to move only by dashing. So it kind of removes your one of your main abilities. So that's another way you can kind of go about finding puzzle design. Like, oh, how can I remove one of the abilities to see if like we can explore a different puzzle design that way? Because like I can counteract the force of the wind, but it's not really going to do anything for me. Because yeah, I actually am continually bumping up against this the edge of this platform here. But then, you know, immediately counteracting the like stalling, the possibility of stalling by making these platforms crumble. But you know, it's, you know, ramping up the difficulty slowly. That's kind of the big thing with these Celeste levels, is it slowly introduces the mechanics and ramps up the difficulty slowly and makes sure you have a grasp on them before it moves you on, and especially before it gets you to like the really tough B-sides, for example. So let me return to the map and see if I can showcase that in particular somewhere. I'm trying to think of which level would be a good one to showcase that like ramping up of difficulty. Actually, I think this one's a good one for that. I know we've already been in this one a little bit. But just to show you what I mean, to start off with, You have an introduction to the level and what its tile set looks like, the design of what everything